Hey folks, my name is Dave and welcome back to NTD Racing and the first running of the California 300 sponsored by the Mint 400 guys. What an amazing race. And what you're watching is Danny driving the truck for his first time in race conditions. He does an amazing job all the way up until the time the transmission gives out early in the race. The crazy thing is this race was so rough. I think we still podium for this thing. But anyway, enjoy the race.
Coming up on a right turn in 200 feet. Roger. Every now and again, glance in your left mirror, see if you see lights coming behind us. We're clear so far. All right, going right. Here, hard right, hard right. There you go. Nice work, man. Nice job. Good job. Keep it going. Is this good? Yeah, it's about as good as we're going to get. You know, it's... Keep going straight. You're on the line. Okay. You're good. This isn't like the center isn't too high here, so you're doing good. Okay. What I'm saying is, like, if you see a rock and you have a choice of taking it down the center or taking it right over the tire, take it over the tire. Roger. And not on the sidewall, but centered on the tire if you can. Here, nice, nice. Good pace. Good pick. All right. Passing a race ball. I can't see what it is, but we're good. Keep blasting. There, good pull. Good call. Good call. All right, let her roll. I see no hazards. Let her go. Nice line. Good line. Good line. You can roll, you can go. These aren't too big for us. Nice, good call, good call. Exactly what I've done. You got a hazard 400 feet. Hazard 200 feet. This could be this GI right here. You see it? That's the hazard. You're past it. Roger. You're straight. I see no hazards. You see his dust all the way up there. So. I do. Nice, nice. Good job. 100 feet hazard. Hazard right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. You're past the hazard. I see nothing else. You're going straight. Good call. Nice, nice line. Nice line. Car passing. All right, cool. We'll see him later. All right, you're gonna go kind of straight. Slow down. Go right, 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 right. I see it. All right, let it rip. Let it rip. You're good. Drive what you see. Drive what you see. Dude, you're doing fucking awesome, man. Thanks, dude. What a blast. I fucking love it. Shit, man. This is so much fun. You're giving great instructions. Keep it up just like you're doing. Check him here. Nothing. Good. Yeah, I think when we pulled over, we didn't have to pull over quite that far. Just be kind of careful. Don't like crash just by pulling over. All right, keep it going. See that guy stuck on the hill up there? Yep. We might pause for a second to see what he does. Okay. So we don't get stuck on. Let's go all the way up to there where we're on the flat. Okay, right at the crest, right at the bottom? Right at the bottom. Okay, right where the arrow is? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Let's stop right here.
We're gonna take that right line.
I don't know where the fuck he's going, but he's blowing his motor up. We're looking good on our temperatures.
Yeah, he's toast. He's on fire.
Yeah, he's just starting today.
No, he's on fire.
He is on fire. That's coming out of his exhaust though.
We're clear to the rear. Now we got traffic. Do you want to pull over to the right?
Let's go right behind him. Let's cruise up and see if we can get right behind him. Give it some good juice. Make sure you keep the speed up.
Can I get around him?
Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, go straight, and go around him. Go straight, go around him, and come back to the left. Yeah, go straight, go up. Shit, what the fuck happened there?
I don't know. It just popped out of gear.
Here, hit it again. All right, so, okay. We're gonna have to back up. Watch your camera.
Got it.
Back up and try to get beat.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dave. Behind the camera today is my driver. I'm the co-driver today. My driver, Danny. And we just blew out our tail housing again and just sent transmission fluid all over the desert. Sorry, BLM. Anyway, so we're trying to get ourselves to the bolts for the tail housing, which are kind of in there. So what we're going to do is we get the firewall off. I get the firewall off. We got to get the seat out. So I'm pulling the seat out right now, and then we'll be able to get to those bolts. We'll have to jack the transmission up a little bit, so we'll use a strap over our tunnel there, pull that thing up a little bit, and then should be able to get in the bolts, pull the tail housing off. Pull the tail housing off, and then we got some of our teammates at a pick apart trying to get another one for a 6L90. If you're in the Barstow area, you guys tail housing for 6L90, you can come find us out here in the middle of the desert. That'd be awesome. Well, you're supposed to have a survival kit when you're out here surviving because your truck is broken down. And this is what our driver Mike and his wife Bailey put into our survival kit. It is literally so bad that I could be like starving in the desert for months and I still would not choose to eat this. Maybe death, I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead. I'm gonna take you around the car. I'm gonna show you what we got going on, trying to fix this thing. It's kind of crazy. You know, this is what, part of desert racing. And if you don't embrace at the parts like this, I know there's people driving by us and we just see cars scattered all over the place, but if you don't embrace, these kinds of things when you're out there, this is what it's all about. I mean, I remember the first time at the Baja 1000 and we blew a tire and trophy trucks were flying by us. And I was out there working to get the truck back on the road, and it was just like, I was like, man, I just love every part of this. I love even the parts where we're repairing the truck. Me and Danny out here talking about our plans in the future. We're gonna go and chase down the little king of the hammers. I don't know, keep doing more of this stuff with all the bros. It's no place to rather be. It's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead, swing around the truck, and we'll show you what we're doing. Go back. All right, this is what we're looking at out the other way. Let's go ahead and cruise around the truck. Let me show you what I got going on. So here's a drive shaft. That came out, drive shafts. They come out in about 5 minutes. That's pretty easy to do. A couple 11mm bolts come right out. Come around over here. To get to the transmission, we kind of had to pull the seat out like we talked about, and we also removed the firewall. That came out really easy. And then under here, we're just kind of protecting this from the dust right now, is what it looks like without the tail housing in. You can kind of see the seal stayed on, so that's good. We'll kind of keep that seal there. We're just looking for their tail housing. Once that gets there, we should be able to pull this thing out pretty quick. But we did have to tie after this bolt right here. We had to lift the transmission a little bit, so we used a ratchet strap tied up to the top of the truck there. And then we had to lift it high enough so that the tail housing could clear that mount. So we'll bolt those things back in there, get some new bolts, hopefully. If not, I think these are the same size bolts, and we can probably rig it up to make those work and just go with 4 bolts in the tail housing as opposed to 6. And then, yeah, we'll get this thing going again here, hopefully. So trying to get us a new tail housing from Victorville. We'll get it out here, throw it in, put in some more transmission fluid, and see how far she goes until something else happens. All right, 6L90 Facebook friends. Just wondering if you might be able to help us out with this issue. Here was what we got. So right now we are in neutral. And when I go into drive, drops into first gear, and we hit the pedal, and if we just roll, we got power. But as soon as we get any power, it literally pops out of gear as it increases RPMs. And as the RPMs decrease, it pops back into gear, and it's a definite jolt. But if you've seen my videos on YouTube, you know I put tap up, tap down on there. So if I tap into tap up, tap down, and put it in the second gear, we got everything, right? We go all the way, and we get all the power we want. And here's the weird thing, is if I tap back into first gear, now first gear is totally there. But if I go back into drive, which I gotta cycle into neutral and back out, now, again, it pops out. We have no idea why it's doing that. I hope some of the smart guys here on YouTube can also help us out. We sure do appreciate it. Thanks a lot, NTD Racing. Okay, so it's been a little while. We got back out of the desert and we recovered this thing, and I needed a lift. So we're back in the house. I technically own this place for 24 more hours, so here we are. Just using my lift one last time. So we got the tail housing replaced, and this guy was really great. He got us one really quickly. The only problem is the tail housing that he gave us was out of a 6L80, not a 6L90, and that is a different size shaft. We got it all put together out there before we realized that it would not fit. So what we're doing right now is we pulled it off the course. We actually put the old tail housing back in. I'll try to get a picture later on. We put a bolt through the hole and put some RTV around it. It held all the fluid in, and then just let the tail of the transmission kind of float back there. We were able to drive this thing off the course and did fine. There's a couple transmission issues, but right now we're going to go ahead and swing the suspension to its limits, and we're going to see if we're getting any binding from the drive shaft. And if it's not binding from the drive shaft, then later we're going to see just reinforce the mount to the tail housing, maybe even taking that tail housing completely out of the mounting equation. So here we go. Let's go ahead and raise this thing up. So as I spin the tire, I just don't think that the limit straps were it. I don't think there's too much angle on those universal joints. So I don't think it was binding or anything like that. So I'm gonna rule out any kind of binding of the universal joints. Let's go ahead now, take off these rear shocks, put it all the way down to its bumps, and see if maybe the problem was that we were jamming the transmission, the drive shaft into the transmission and then trying to rip the transmission out. Just nuke this shirt. Oh yeah, we're totally good. Okay, cool. Wow. That's all I need to know. All right, welcome. You're in the new shop, at least our temporary one for the next couple of weeks. Things have been moving so quickly. We've moved out here to Colorado. I think we've been here for a week and a half now, and we're closing on a new house at the same time with a bigger shop. I'm going to show you guys that over the next couple of weeks. A lot of stuff is going on. Oh, by the way, we're getting ready for the Baja 1000. So let's wrap up the fix and at least my analysis of what I think went wrong with this transmission, because that's kind of the big deal. How do we stop blowing up these transmissions and what goes wrong? So here is the part, and this is, I'm embarrassed to say, this is part 2 that we fixed, and you can kind of see, and you can see there, I can see there's a hole through the transmission where these bolts have been ripped out. Like we've shown you in the other the same tail housing issue that we had from before. We just couldn't figure out what it was. So we showed you on the videos how I don't think it was either the drive shaft plunging in too far and ripping it off, or it drooping too far and kind of ripping it off that far in either the full extension or full compression of the suspension. So here's what I think it is. This is what I finally, I think, narrowed it down to what I think the problem was. is, here's the new tail housing, is the mount that was on there, and the truck is in California right now and I'm here in Colorado, but what we have is a plate that goes underneath the tail housing. It drops down about 1 inch, and then it has a shackle bushing that goes underneath it. And that shackle bushing allows that mount to kind of translate like this. So you get that in there. And it's basically, I put it in there hoping just to locate the transmission and also take a little bit of the vibration out in between the frame and the transmission. The problem with that is as we go into bumps and the front of the truck plows into like G-outs and those kinds of things, the whole probably 800 pounds of the engine transmission combo plunges forward, and it basically, rolls this thing forward. Not only does there's a lot of load that comes down as we get up and down, but really that kind of plowing forward also and forcing that engine forward, rocking forward. I think what it's doing, it's rocking, and basically imagine like a big pry rod. It's basically ripping that plate right off the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and try to engage these 3 bolts and make a more robust mount. And then we're also gonna try to limit the forward motion of the engine in this fix. So I'm gonna get to that right now. You'll see more of it in the next video. Man, we're gonna be out of here in about 2 weeks for the Baja 1000. I'm so excited. Can't wait to show you all that stuff and some of the changes that we're making for the truck to hopefully push this thing across the finish line. So please consider watching us then. Like and subscribe, ring the bell for notification for future episodes. Those things help us out so much, and we certainly do appreciate it. See you next week. Take care of yourself.